Born in Paris, his roots are half Hungarian Protestant, a quarter Greek Jewish, and a quarter French Catholic. Mayor of Neuilly-sur-Seine from 1983 to 2002, he was Minister of the Budget under Prime Minister Édouard Balladur, 1993 to 1995, during François Mitterrand's second term. During Jacques Chirac's second presidential term, he served as Minister of the Interior and as Minister of Finances. He was the leader of the Union for a Popular Movement, UMP, party from 2004 to 2007. He won the 2007 French presidential election by a 53.1% to 46.9% margin against Ségolène Royal, the Socialist Party, PS, candidate. During his term, he faced the 2008 financial crisis, the late 2000s recession, and the European sovereign debt crisis, the Russo-Georgian War, for which he negotiated a ceasefire, and the Arab Spring, especially in Tunisia, Libya, and Syria. He initiated the reform of French universities, 2007, and the pension reform, 2010. He married Italian-French singer-songwriter Carla Bruni in 2008 at the Élysée Palace in Paris. In the 2012 presidential election, Sarkozy was defeated by the PS candidate François Hollande by a 3.2% margin. After leaving office, Sarkozy pledged to retire but returned in 2014 as UMP leader, renamed the Republicans in 2015. After defeat in the Republican presidential primary in 2016, he retired from public life. He was charged with corruption by French prosecutors in 2 cases, notably concerning the alleged Libyan interference in the 2007 French elections. In 2021, Sarkozy was convicted of corruption in 2 separate trials, receiving a 3-year sentence, 2 suspended, 1 in prison, under appeal, and a 1-year sentence served under home confinement. He lost an appeal in May 2023. In February 2024, his campaign finance sentence was revised to 6 months in prison and 6 months suspended. In September 2025, he was convicted of criminal conspiracy over his corruption pact with Muammar Gaddafi and sentenced to 5 years in prison, plus a €100,000 fine. As of October 21, 2025, Sarkozy commenced his sentence at La Santé prison, in segregation, while lawyers appeal. During Sarkozy's childhood, his father founded his own advertising agency and became wealthy. The family lived in a mansion owned by Sarkozy's maternal grandfather, Bénédicte Malle, in the 17th arrondissement of Paris. The family later moved to Neuilly-sur-Seine, one of the wealthiest communes of the Île-de-France region immediately west of Paris. According to Sarkozy, his staunchly Gaullist grandfather was more of an influence on him than his father, whom he rarely saw. Sarkozy was raised Catholic. Sarkozy said that being kept at a distance by his father shaped much of who he is today. He also has said that, in his early years, he felt inferior to his wealthier and taller classmates. He has spoken about the difficulties he faced as a child of divorced parents at a time when divorce was uncommon. "What made me who I am now is the sum of all the humiliations suffered during childhood," he said later. Education. Sarkozy was enrolled in the Lycée Chaptal, a well-regarded public middle and high school in Paris' 8th arrondissement, where he failed his 6ème. His family then sent him to the Cours Saint-Louis de Monceau, a private Catholic school in the 17th arrondissement, where he was reportedly a mediocre student 9 but where he nonetheless obtained his baccalaureate in 1973. Sarkozy enrolled at the Université Paris X Nanterre, where he graduated with an MA in private law and, later, with a DEA degree in business law. Paris X Nanterre had been the starting place for the May 68 student movement and was still a stronghold of leftist students. Described as a quiet student, Sarkozy soon joined the right-wing student organization, in which he was very active. He completed his military service as a part-time Air Force cleaner. After graduating from university, Sarkozy entered Sciences Po, where he studied between 1979 and 1981, but failed to graduate due to an insufficient command of the English language. After passing the bar, Sarkozy became a lawyer specializing in business and family law and was one of Silvio Berlusconi's French lawyers. Marriages. Marie-Dominique Culeola. Sarkozy married his first wife, Marie-Dominique Culeola, on September 23, 1982, with prominent right-wing politician Charles Pasqua serving as best man. Pasqua later became a political opponent. Culeola's father was a pharmacist from Vico, a village north of Ajaccio, Corsica. Her uncle was Achille Peretti, the mayor of Neuilly-sur-Seine from 1947 to 1983 and Sarkozy's political mentor. They had two sons, Pierre, born in 1985, now a hip-hop producer, and Jean, born in 1986, now a local politician in the city of Neuilly-sur-Seine, where Sarkozy started his own political career. Sarkozy divorced Culeola in 1996, after they had been separated for several years. Cecilia Signoret-Albéniz. As mayor of Neuilly-sur-Seine, Sarkozy met former fashion model and public relations executive Cecilia Signoret-Albéniz, great-granddaughter of composer Isaac Albéniz and daughter of a Moldovan father, when he officiated at her wedding to television host Jacques Martin. In 1988, she left her husband for Sarkozy, and divorced 1 year later. She and Sarkozy married in October 1996, with witnesses Martin Bouygues and Bernard Arnault. They have one son, Louis, born April 28, 1997. Between 2002 and 2005, the couple often appeared together on public occasions, with Cecilia Sarkozy acting as the chief aide for her husband. On May 25, 2005, however, the Swiss newspaper Le Matin revealed that she had left Sarkozy for Moroccan national Richard Attias, head of Publicis in New York. There were other accusations of a private nature in Le Matin, which led to Sarkozy suing the paper. In the meantime, he was said to have had an affair with a journalist of Le Figaro, Anne Fulda. Sarkozy and Cecilia ultimately divorced on October 15, 2007, soon after his election as president. Carla Bruni. Less than a month after separating from Cecilia, Sarkozy met Italian-born singer, songwriter, and former fashion model Carla Bruni at a dinner party, and soon entered into a relationship with her. They married on February 2, 2008 at the Élysée Palace in Paris. The couple have a daughter, Julia, born on October 19, 2011. It was the first time a French president has publicly had a child while in office. Personal wealth. Sarkozy declared to the Constitutional Council a net worth of €2 million, most of the assets being in the form of life insurance policies. As the French president, one of his first actions was to give himself a pay raise. His yearly salary went from €101,000 to €240,000, matching other European office holders. He is also entitled to a mayoral, parliamentarian, and presidential pension as a former mayor of Neuilly-sur-Seine, member of the National Assembly and President of France. Sarkozy was named the 68th best-dressed person in the world by Vanity Fair, alongside David Beckham and Brad Pitt. However, Sarkozy has also been named as the third worst-dressed person in the world by GQ. Beside publicizing, at times, and at others, refusing to publicize his ex-wife Cecilia Signoret-Albéniz's image, Sarkozy takes care of his own personal image, sometimes to the point of censorship, such as in the Paris Match affair, when he allegedly forced its director to resign following an article on his ex-wife and her affair with Publicis executive Richard Attias, or pressures exercised on the journal Du Dimanche, which was preparing to publish an article concerning Signoret-Albéniz's decision not to vote in the second round of the 2007 presidential election. In its edition of August 9, 2007, Paris Match retouched a photo of Sarkozy in order to erase a love handle. His official portrait, destined for all French town halls, was done by SIPA press photographer Philippe Warren, better known for his paparazzi work. Former Daily Telegraph journalist Colin Randall has highlighted Sarkozy's tighter control of his image and frequent interventions in the media, he censors a book, or fires the chief editor of a weekly. Sarkozy lost a suit against a manufacturer of Sarkozy voodoo dolls, in which he claimed that he had a right to his own image. Sarkozy is reported by Reuters to be sensitive about his height, believed to be 165 centimeters, e.g. 5 feet 5 in. The French media have pointed out that Carla Bruni frequently wears flats when in public with him. In 2009, a worker at a factory where Sarkozy gave a speech said she was asked to stand next to him because she was of a similar height to Sarkozy. This story was corroborated by some trade union officials. This was the subject of a political row. The president's office called the accusation completely absurd and grotesque, while the Socialist Party mocked his fastidious preparation. Sarkozy was nicknamed as Hyper-President or Hyper-President by some French media after his 2007 election as president, to describe his desire to control everything. Whereas in the history of the Fifth Republic, the successive presidents were traditionally focused on the foreign policy of the country and on international relations, leaving the Prime Minister and the government to determine the domestic policy. As the Constitution states it, Nicolas Sarkozy appeared to determine both the foreign and domestic policy. Some compared Nicolas Sarkozy to Napoleon Bonaparte and Louis XIV. Indeed, he appointed a very close friend of his, François Fillon, as a prime minister. Fillon was accused of being an instrument of the president's power. The biopic The Conquest is a 2011 film that dramatizes Sarkozy's rise to power, with candid portrayals of Nicolas Sarkozy himself, Chirac and Villepin. It was shown at the 2011 Cannes Film Festival. Thank you for watching this video.